In this video we're going to look at how to make right-leaning dip stitches, and these stitches are made by knitting into a row below your current knitting. So my pattern here is going to tell me that I'm going to knit into the hole 4 stitches below the second stitch on my left needle. So I've just inserted my right hand needle into that hole and pulled a loop of yarn through and brought that tension out to match the other stitches on my right hand needle. Following my pattern, I'm going to just knit to the next dip stitch and show you that again. So in order to keep this tension correct, where it doesn't pull on this hole too much and it matches the tension of your other stitches, you just need to watch that you don't pull too tightly once you pull this yarn through here. So I've counted down 4 stitches below, inserted my needle, and I wrap the yarn and pull through and bring the tension out to match the other stitches on my right hand needle. And you want to be careful when you're making the next knit stitch that you again don't pull too tight. It's tempting to do that. So let's look at that one more time. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 holes below the second stitch on my left hand needle, wrapping the yarn and pulling it through until the tension matches my other stitches. So it's just like making a really long knit stitch. And there you go, that's the right leaning dip stitch. Now in the next round, your pattern will likely tell you to decrease all of these extra stitches you're making, because every time you knit into your prior work, you're creating an extra stitch. So we'll make this last dip stitch here, and now I've reached the beginning of my next round. So we're going to work these stitches together. So I'm going to knit 2 stitches together, one regular knit stitch and one of my dip stitches that I created, and then keep following my pattern. And I've just knit 3 stitches, and now I'm going to knit the next dip stitch together with the knit stitch before it on the needle, and keep knitting along until the next one, and I'm going to knit that dip stitch together with the first knit stitch. And this solidifies that right leaning look to these dip stitches, so helps secure them back into your fabric and makes them lean right. So there you go, that's your right leaning dip stitch. And if you're keeping your tension nice, it won't be tugging too much on your fabric.